since we're in our New Year Homeschool Reset series, we are going to be focusing on what are we actually doing this year in our homeschool, our New Year homeschool plan. And if curriculum videos ever make you feel like you need to buy everything and add a bunch of stuff to your cart, don't worry, this is not that. I'm just gonna walk you through our second grade plan and talk to you about what's flexible, what's structured, and how we make it all work without turning it into an 8-hour day. This is episode 4 in our Homeschool Reset series. Episode 1, we did clarity and our first steps. Then we tackled the clutter and organized our spaces. Episode 3 was all about motivation, and this one is all of our curriculum choices and how we make it all work together for the new upcoming season. Be sure to check out the playlist if you've missed any videos and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the next one. Also, remember, this is not a buy everything that I bought kind of video. This is a way for you to get ideas and inspiration for your own homeschool so that you can put together something that works best for you. If you want a space and place to plan that, we use a workbook that I created. It is a simple, straightforward New Year's homeschool refresh workbook, and it is available to you to download in my free resource library. If you would like to check it out, it is at ourtogetherfamily.com, and you can also look down in the description box below if you want to follow along. We'll be using that as a guide for how we are going to restructure and kind of refocus a couple of our things for this upcoming season. So without further ado, let's take a look. So let's talk big picture. Here's the easiest way to think about how we do our school. We have two kind of anchor core subjects, which are math and language arts, that we do consistently that look a little bit more like traditional curriculums and like classical curriculums, and we'll dive into them in just a minute. And we've enjoyed that, and we do flex from time to time but that's our core. The rest is built around book studies. We do a ton of unit studies that I build. We do projects, real life learning. We travel a lot. So we try to stay academically solid, but also keep the magic, keep it enjoyable. So we do consistency for the basics and lots of flexibility to keep the magic and the love of learning. First up, language arts. We are using Abeka's second grade phonics and language for our key spine for language arts, and we will use this for like a clear path for like grammar, writing, what they should be learning this year and what some clear expectations are and kind of like a trajectory for us. So I like having this a lot. We don't do every single activity and even every single page. Sometimes I will use book studies, several other like curriculums that I will piece together to make it a little bit more flexible and fun, but still learning a lot of the same concepts. We'll do lots of reading, lots of narration. We do unit studies, again, all to build on this. I have a lot of games that are even fun for language arts, and we will do those as well. But we definitely use this almost every day in our school, and I at least look at it every day, and almost every day she will work in it. And we are actually on pace this year. I think we have like maybe 1 or 2 lessons like behind where they expect you to be this time of year, and that is a miracle. Because we do some days we do double, and some days we will skip it because of various reasons. We'll do another heavy language arts intensive activity, and so we'll skip it, and then the next day we'll double up in that book, and it's worked out really well. She's done great, and we are excelling in that front. Truly, language arts is not something that I want to overcomplicate. This is something that I am not as confident in as I am in other subjects, and especially when it comes to certain grammar things, phonics, I just want to make sure I'm doing it really well, and I don't want to make it overcomplicated. That's not to say that I don't, like I said, embellish and make things pretty fun. We use things like Brave Writer and other things like I mentioned to sprinkle some pixie dust on it and make the happy thoughts come alive. Core curriculum number 2, we have math, and we are using Horizons Math. This is the first book. If y'all want a like more detailed look inside any of these books and what the curriculums look like and how we add on and embellish them, let me know. This one is very straightforward, and it's like a pretty good pacing, I think. She really gets through it pretty quickly. I would say that there are some concepts that we are ready to move beyond, I think, but we do most of the things in here, and we definitely add on a lot more with math. I'm pretty confident teaching her at this level. We are like working on adding fractions and things like that. We do a lot of math in the kitchen and when we do experiments and chemistries, and then we also do math when we're at Disney World, or we're estimating in lines and we're working on measurements and we graph while we're there. If you would like to see more about how we do our Disney days and Disney learning days, let me know. But we do tons of game school, and the games are just like a math lover's dream, and there's just so many things. So those are our two anchors, language arts and math, and the rest of it is really fun. But that's our backbone. Next up is my absolute favorite part, I think, and that would be our unit studies. Now, we don't always make our own unit studies, but this year I've made quite a few, and the ones that we are focusing on are our Through the Wardrobe unit study, and that is a book study to do with the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and it's quite extensive if you haven't noticed, and we do lots of character studies, we'll do language arts, we'll do math, science, reading, writing, we do tons of history, and we'll do experiments, and we'll do like geography and like character studies. So many different things we build into our unit studies, which I just love. We do arts, crafts, all types of arts. So we'll do like theater things, and we'll build in things, and we usually do a big book party at the end, and they're so magical and so fun. So we absolutely love them because they build learning in a way that is natural and in a way that inspires both me and my kids to want to do them and want to learn, and they are learning. So it's really great. We really love them. Our other one is we are the most magical homeschool on earth. We homeschool at Disney World, and we incorporate stories into our learning. And sometimes we incorporate stories we're inspired by, like Disney stories. So this one is inspired. Spam. Okay. This one is inspired by Encanto, and it's the magic within. And so I actually got two different versions from two different sellers. This one's from Amazon, and this one's from another provider. So I can't decide which one I like better. This one's bigger, so more room for writing, and this one has better color on the inside. So I just can't decide. But there's just so much that we learn. This one like studies Spanish and Colombian culture, their geography, their plants, biomes, art. We do a ton of art in here and a lot of music, and then we do some character studies and things like that. And then there's some field trip extensions, and of course we have already shown this to Mirabelle at Disney, and it was so much fun to show her those. So we just like to bring learning alive, and that's one of the ways we do it. If you want to check them out, they are on our website. If you would like to learn more, you can also let me know down in the comments, and I'll kind of dive into how I make the unit studies. And if you want to know more about a specific one, you can always send me a message or let me know down in the comments, and I will answer as best I can. So another thing that I am so surprised that became one of our favorite ways to learn. I'm surprised because I did not like this as a kid, and my daughter last year didn't like it at all, but now loves it, and that is reading. We read in such a variety of ways, and it's just really cool to see her grow in that way. In some of the ways that we've kind of facilitated that, it's been such a win for our homeschool, and I love it. I can't wait to see how my second daughter will hopefully follow in those footsteps. She is 5, so she's like kind of getting to like, we got the CVC words down, but that's about it so far. But we do so many different things. It's not just reading in a workbook, and honestly, that's the most way to do it. We love book studies. We love read-alouds. We love book parties. We love book parties. I mentioned them earlier with our unit studies. We do our book parties with our co-op, which our co-op is just so good. I love our co-op. And they are so much fun. And I it's one of my favorite days of the whole year when we do a book party, and we just celebrate. So if you do book parties or if you do book studies with your co-op or with your family at home, I would love to know what are some of your favorite ones you've done. We really want to add on some more this year. We are deep into some of these, but we're excited to add some more to our list so that it's ever growing. So let me know down in the comments, what's been the favorite one for you? Okay, let's talk history, social studies, geography. That's all like social studies, right? And then also science. Now, we're not going to dive in deep on what we do in those particular things because it's pretty extensive and varied depending on the time of year. And that's because we're super eclectic and it's super fun to learn in natural ways. And now a lot of it actually gets incorporated into our unit studies. Those are kind of like our core, our base, but we do it in a lot of natural real life learning kind of situations. So we learn through our travels. We learn while we are at Disney World. We'll go to Epcot and we will learn from the cultural representatives from all over the world. We will learn same thing when we go to certain places at Animal Kingdom Lodge, places like that. There are so many different natural opportunities in our own backyard at Disney World, but then there are also so many different opportunities through like our travels and even just going into our own backyard where we can learn about nature and the world around us. We do a curriculum with our co-op that is a science curriculum, and that's been pretty great. It's worked out pretty well this year and my kids have liked it. I have my master's in science in nursing, and and I'm a college professor with that. So I enjoy the sciences a lot. I used to teach at Disney World in the animal science and environment programs. So science is really big for me. So it's really easy to incorporate that in so many different ways. History, I didn't love as a kid, but I have grown to love it. We have incorporated so many different books, reference books galore. You can check those out on episode 2 when I talked about the different spaces and places that we homeschool and how we organize everything. I'm going to have another video coming out soon about what that looks like in more depth, but for now we have other books like Honest History, things like that we incorporate into our learning spaces. This is just like, there's a treasure trove of like stuff out there and we love them all. This is one of the ones that I really struggle when it comes to these two subjects to rein it in. Like, I want to do it all. I want to catch them all. I never watched that. I don't know. My daughter watched that the other day, so it's in my head. But anyways, that is our science and history curriculum-ish. Now, we also do other family subjects that are really fun and we incorporate in a variety of different ways as well, that I'm not going to dive into the specifics of what we do because they kind of vary again on how much time we have that day and things that we do. We don't pick a specific curriculum for things like Bible, for example, or for like physical education, things like that. We join teams. My daughter is doing like extracurricular classes this year where she is doing project-based learning. She had to build a business and everything that goes along with that. That was so fun. Her jingle is still stuck in my head. But yeah, we practiced editing together. It was so cool. And like money math and all the things. We had some learning to do afterwards, but it was so fun to watch her like thrive in that. That was so fun. How many times can I say fun? But she's also doing things like Spanish and like lots of social engagement, things like that as well. And we do ice skate. There's so many different other things that are incorporated into our life for us to learn and grow they don't necessarily like make the list for curriculum. Now, if you've watched episodes 1 through 3, this should all sound familiar. It should fit into that reset homeschool rhythm vibe where we are focusing on connection. We are adding in those anchor subjects one by one at first. You can check those videos out if you haven't seen them already. But then you can add on the fun things like unit studies and field trips and other activities that like make learning magical and really fun. So that is kind of our framework for how we incorporate things and we make it a rhythm in our homeschool. Now, each day doesn't look exactly the same. Even with our core subjects, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen at this time of this day. A lot of that has to do with the fact that we have an almost 1-year-old, and so this past year has been homeschooling with a baby. There's going to be an episode coming up soon all about that, so stay tuned and subscribe. Check out the playlist if you are watching this later, because it's probably already there. But we're just trying to keep a rhythm with consistency, with progress, without burnout, that leads to a lifelong love of learning and connection between us as a family, because we just want to learn together. Adventure is out there and learning is too, and we want to find it together. That's what we're all about here at the most magical homeschool on earth and our Together family, which is like our overarching brand. We also have Together We Vacation, which is more about how we travel and learn on the go and things like that, if you want to check it out. But we love to do things together. That is one of my favorite things about homeschooling. And again, I want to know what your favorite things are down in the comments. Don't forget, because it just warms my heart that we all have different whys and different reasons, and I love that. Now, this is why I wanted this episode in our Homeschool Reset series, because once you have your space set up and your motivation is starting to come back, you need to know what exactly you're going to be incorporating and how that fits into that rhythm. And for us, that's not going to be micromanaging 10 different subjects. We are not going to be adding on a schedule for each and every subject throughout the day, because that's just not how our rhythm works, and it's not how we thrive. We do reading, writing, math, all of the basic cores in language arts and in math, and then we build the depth through our units, our activities, our projects, our art, our daily life activities, and on our adventures together as a family. And that's what works for us, whether we are traveling abroad or we are local. We love adventuring and learning together. And if you are interested, or your co-op's interested in educational travel, then be sure to send me a message, because I do specialize in that. I do help people plan their trips, groups plan their trips in educational ways, whether they are learning before, during, and after their trip, and I personalize it to your group. My specialty is Walt Disney World, which I know is unique. Not everyone comes to Disney World to learn, but there is a wealth of learning that can happen with a little intentionality while you're here, and then a lots before and after as well. So if you're interested in my most magical learning adventures, let me know. Send me an email at jordanashley@fantasticalvacations.com, or you can send it to me in any of my other locations down below. Moral of the story is we are structured enough to gain real progress and find success academically without sacrificing our relationships as a family and these social, emotional, like real life skills that they need, and the fun and flexibility that leads to a lifelong love of learning. Now, the next episode in the series is all about how to homeschool with the baby and how to reset our mindset and our spaces, our rhythms, and our strategies so that we can be successful in a busy season, whether that's with the baby or not. This one is baby focused because that's the season that we are in. I want you to feel confident and be able to make real progress without burning out. So that's what next episode is about. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out, and stay in the playlist so that you are all in this together with me. I will see you there, pal.